Hello and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on this video. This year is about to end and 2024 is around the corner as voting in America draws near and near. But are people convinced to vote for anyone as president in the upcoming elections? I don't think so, because people are still skeptical about voting for certain people. And in this video, a palm color man tells people to say they can't vote for Biden again. Now, of late, a lot of Americans have been skeptical about voting for Biden in the upcoming elections, and a lot became so vocal about this after he stands on the Israel versus Palestine war, and the man in this video says the same as well. Now he states, as I quote, "You can't vote for this man. I know politics is complicated, but the unaliving of children and relentless being of the civilian Palestinian is not complicated." He goes on to share other reasons as well. More reason you have to watch this video until the very end. With that said, let's check out his video for more context.
I wasn't going to make this video, and I mean that really sincerely. I was never going to say this. I knew what I was going to do personally, but I was never going to fucking make this video. I was sitting on my couch, and I was on social media, and I saw this video of, and this is early reports of this, okay? But apparently an American Hellfire missile, which is a special kind of missile that spins around blades and is meant to cut off people's limbs, hit a hospital in Gaza. The video is horrifying and extremely graphic, and I've seen the last few weeks especially so much graphic imagery. And obviously, what do we factually know? We know that thousands of people have been killed in Gaza. Over 10,000 people that we know of have been killed in Gaza. Almost half of them children. We know that millions of people have been displaced, been pushed out of their homes. Many of their homes have been razed to the ground, and now they're being pushed out of the only place they were even allowed to live, in their ancestral homeland. And this is being sanctioned by the US government and by the Biden administration, which said today, there's no possibility of a ceasefire. You cannot vote for this man. You cannot vote for this man. You cannot vote for this man. I understand the world is complicated and politics is complicated, but this is not complicated. Killing and murder of children, the relentless bombing of a civilian population, this is not complicated. It is not. It is fantastically straightforward. And are there other things? Yeah, there's other things. There are other things, but let me remind you, there's a 6-3 Supreme Court, right? Because that gets brought up a lot. There's a conservative, theocratic, fascist Supreme Court that already exists, that this administration and the Democrats have done nothing about that. They don't want to reform the court. They don't want to pack the court. They've done nothing. And they did nothing about it when Biden was the vice president for 8 years in a Democratic administration. They had no foresight then. They're not going to have foresight in 2024 or afterwards. They don't care about that. And are things going well right now for you, for marginalized communities right now, today? Have they been going well? Have they been getting consistently worse over the last decade? You cannot vote for this man. You cannot. See this guy? You know that guy? How about this guy? You recognize that guy? That's 10 years ago. I was a White House intern. My politics were drastically different 10 years ago. Now that was sort of the beginning of the end for that form of politics for me. If we do not make a stand here, and I am so fucking serious, it's done. There's no point to any of it. There's nothing. It's done. If we tell them that this is acceptable, that this is okay, that we're too scared, the two-party, I'm telling you, you cannot fucking vote for this man. They've got a year to figure it out. They've got time. He's old. He already said he was only going to be a one-term president. Several years ago he said that. He's probably too fucked up in his brain to remember. You cannot vote for this man.
Now, this has been a topic of debate for many. So many points are being raised from people over this issue. But have people thought about another alternative? Like, what's the plan? If not him, then who? But again, I feel politicians should be held accountable for their actions. Because come to think about it, if people say they are going to vote for him regardless, it means Biden has absolutely zero incentive to do anything differently, because if he believes he won't lose voters regardless of what he does, then he's just going to do literally whatever he wants. But let's check out a few stitches and hear what others had to say about this.
You cannot vote for this man. You cannot vote for this man.
Okay, but what's the plan? What's the plan, though? I've heard so many people come on this app and justifiably, understandably, say, I can't vote for Joe Biden and you shouldn't vote for Joe Biden because of the reasons listed in their videos. All understandable, valid reasons, many reasons that I agree with. But what is the plan? Because all I've ever heard people say is, don't vote for Joe. Okay, what's the plan? Who are we going to pick to replace Joe? How do we get everyone to rally behind that person? How do we get them on the ballot? What are the deadlines? What are the requirements that we need to make sure that they meet? How do we get the word out to people? How do we make sure that at least 50% of this nation knows who that person is and wants to vote for them? What's the plan? The Republican Party has over 900 pages of a plan. Project 2025. Go look it up. Democratic Party has a plan. It's all over their websites. They have a plan. Neither one, GOP or DNC, have necessarily good plans, but they have plans. And having a plan is better than having no plan, no matter how bad the plan is. Because there is at least steps that everyone's following. Everyone knows the direction that they're walking towards. There's a plan in place. Everyone knows where they're going. That's why the GOP has been so good at slowly ratcheting back the progress. They have a plan, and they're willing to play the long game to get there. So what's our plan? Or is there none? If there's really no plan, and it sounds like there isn't, then people are just coming on here to scream into the void, vent their frustrations to make themselves feel better. And I get that. They're valid in those feelings. There's a lot to be frustrated about. But when you have people with large followings or make an impassioned speech that go viral, and there's no follow-up plan to that, no actionable things for people to do other than don't vote, and especially don't vote for Joe Biden, then that's dangerous. Because what is happening is you are choosing not to make a decision on something that directly affects you. You are putting it in someone else's hand. And when you let someone else choose for you, you'll never like the outcome 100% of the time. And that's what's going to happen. And the idea of let it all burn to the ground, once again, what's the plan? What is going to be done after that? Is there a plan on how to rebuild? If there isn't, the people that are going to go rebuild, you're not going to like the decisions that they make. You're sitting back and letting someone else make the choice for you. Understandably, say, I can't for Joe Biden and you shouldn't.
What's the plan? They don't have a plan. This is trending. This is trending. This isn't about plans. This is about riding a wave of a topic that's trending. And exactly like, if you step back and think about it, isn't it amazing, like, how these people are exactly like Trump supporters? They're exactly like Trump supporters. They're taking a position, and no matter what harm it causes, they're going to hold their ground because they and their ideals are what is important, not what's best for the country. What they think, that's the only thing that matters, is what they think and not what's best for the country. They are literally left-wing version of Donald Trump supporters. That's exactly what they are. They do not care one bit about this country. They only care about standing up for what they believe in, even if it hurts everyone else. And it also shows really how little these people know about American history. And by American history, I mean starting yesterday and going backwards, literally. Because Joe Biden is probably at this point in his administration responsible for less death around the world than the president before him, and certainly the president before that president, and certainly the president before that president. But this is where we stand our ground. This is where we stand our ground, you know. For a lot of these, especially young people, like, it doesn't occur to them that sometimes a president has to make decisions that they don't agree with. Sometimes presidents have to make decisions that they don't agree with. And that is because the majority of voters in this country stand as independents. And they want to see progress, and they want to see common sense.
Now, facing a likely choice between Republican Donald Trump or Democrat Joe Biden in the 2024 presidential race, many Americans are desperate for younger, less divisive options and a large and potentially consequential market for third-party candidates. One not seen since the 1990s is a stark reminder that in Trump and Biden, the two major parties are likely to nominate unusually unpopular candidates. Now, their potential rematch of the election comes as the nation grapples with economic anxiety, a sharp political divide, a controversial US-backed Israeli assault on Gaza, and widespread calls for the new generation of US leadership. Some 63% of US adults currently agree with the statement that Republican and Democratic parties do such a poor job of representing the American people that a third major party is needed. Now, according to a recent poll, that is up 7 percentage points from a year ago and the highest since first asked the question in 2003. Now, Biden and Trump both face primary challenges, but are expected to emerge as their party's candidates in 2024. Despite deep concerns over Biden's age and his stance over the Israel versus Palestine war, Trump's string of federal and state criminal indictments, no third-party candidate has won a modern U.S. presidential election, although they have at times played outsized roles as spoilers by taking votes from major party candidates. In 1992, billionaire businessman Ross Perot captured 19% of the vote, arguably swinging the White House to Democrat Bill Clinton over incumbent George H.W. Bush. Political activist Ralph Nader won less than 3% support in 2000, but took enough votes away from Democratic candidate Al Gore in Florida to give George W. Bush victory in the state, and with it, the White House. Now, a Reuters poll shows Robert F. Kennedy Jr., an anti-vaccine conspiracy theorist and scion of the Democratic dynasty who launched an independent presidential bid in October, could capture 20% in a three-way contest with Biden and Trump. Kennedy is backed by the American Values 2024 Super PAC, which has raised more than $17 million for his bid from several deep-pocketed donors, including a former Trump PACer. Now, American Values 2024 hosted an event aimed at Black and Latino voters in downtown Manhattan that drew about 40 people, including several who could not identify Kennedy's core policies but said they valued his disruptive potential. We've been looking for a rebel since Barack Obama. We thought he was a rebel. Then we thought Bernie Sanders was a rebel. Then we thought Trump was a rebel. Now we know, of course, RFK is a rebel, said Larry Sharpe, a former libertarian candidate for New York governor who attended the event. Now, both parties have expressed concerns about a Kennedy bid. Democrats fear his famous last name and pro-environment, anti-corporate policies will resonate with some of their voters. Republicans fear his anti-vaccine talk and popularity on conservative platforms could draw some of their support. Now, but the Reuters poll and others have showed Kennedy drawing fairly equally from Republicans and Democrats in a three-way race. However, Democrats are not taking anything for granted. Our overall take is anything that divides the anti-Trump coalition is bad. And so any option that you offer voters who simply can't vote for Trump other than Joe Biden is problematic, said Matt Bennett, a co-founder of the center-left Democratic group Third Way. Tony Leon's co-founder of American Values 2024 told Reuters Kennedy shouldn't be considered a danger to just Biden Biden or just Trump. He's a danger to a corrupt two-party system that isn't doing things to help the people in this room, Leon said at the Manhattan event. Now, people have different opinions about this, and the following are some of the comments I picked at random. This one says, what exactly has Biden done for you aside from the G side? Our economy is bad, crime is high, and freedoms are getting cut. Who would you like to see run for president? Honestly, I'm lost. You're not voting for Biden, you're voting for democracy. My vote will be based on saving democracy, also ensuring my 4 daughters can make their own good decisions. I swear, people forget just how bad 2016 to 2020 was. Those are Trump supporters trying to get Democrats to stay home and not vote. Don't fall for it. I'm literally watching 2016 happen all over again. This has all been insane. The reason our country is so right-wing is because young leftists quit too easily. They are literally praising a letter written by Osama bin Laden and praising it. This country is screwed. Let's take this moment to start working on a better progressive candidate for 2028 while supporting the current administration. We have come to the end of the video. Those were just comments from people, and I would really love to see your comments as well. So share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video.